Hello and welcome to another video. Today I wanted to talk about psychological safety, and in the recent years it's been quite like a buzzword, but it's so important to understand why psychological safety is important and how it works. And for that, we're going to be comparing psychological safety in the workplaces versus how you can be better at it at home, so you know actually how to work with it when you are out about in society, whether it's in the workplaces or elsewhere, right? So psychological safety, to begin with, is in my opinion, is three things, right? If you have a safe psychological environment at work, it translates to the fact that your employees are able to freely speak their mind. They're able to freely share ideas that come up, if they're ideas about how things can get better, how systems can get better, and thirdly, but most importantly as well, that they're able to tell you openly as a manager or as a leader or someone in charge. They're able to tell you if there is something toxic happening at work, if there's a toxic work environment, some person or some way of doing something, if that is toxic, and they're able to tell you about it without fearing negative consequences. And it has to be like that even for your employees and for the management team, so that you're able to talk about a negative experience even from a senior without fearing judgment or cancellation or direct consequences to your job, right? So that is how it's kind of defined. But what it does, why is it important? What it does is that when you do create a safe space for everyone to just be themselves, and when you do appreciate people sharing new ideas, that's really when people over time learn that, okay, in this place we are able to be ourselves, we are able to come up with solutions on how to do things in a better way, and every time we do that, it's respected and it's not frowned upon, and it is looked at in a way that it suggests that it's a good thing to do, right? So that's how humans around us learn how we should be acting in a certain environment. So if you as a manager has succeeded in creating that environment, after some time, people will come up with ideas that can drastically change your business, right? It can drastically change your business for the better. It can create new markets. It can give you those innovative ideas that people might have been scared to share with you had you not created that safe space within your organization. So that is really very important. But how do we go on about it, right? What if you just heard this buzzword but you don't know how can you even start? You've never felt that this has been a part of your life, even perhaps from your childhood or from your work years or from when you were studying. This was not encouraged, and then you think it's really hard to begin working in a manner that can ensure that everybody's on board, they're feeling safe, they're feeling comfortable enough to share their ideas and tell if something's wrong, and basically be comfortable enough to be themselves, right? So one thing I do is that I ask managers to talk about all of these issues that we're working on, like the buzzwords in the work environments, in the business sector, at conferences. These just remain words if we don't really work on them on a personal level, right? And it's the same thing for psychological safety. So at home, you can translate that word into trust, right? So the trust is both with how your loved ones view you, how you view them, how you create a safe space at home. Perhaps let me take a few examples. If you have kids, how you can be a person of trust to them. It shows if a kid comes up to you and they tell you a mistake they've made. If your reaction is to punish them or be angry with them, they might not want to tell you again, right? So, and if you create a space of safety and you listen and then you tell them how they can go on about after making a mistake, that they have the ability to reflect upon what they did, why they did, and how they can do better next time, they will so that will increase the chances of them coming back to you again and again, talk to you about their mistakes and grow as a person, right? So what we're looking for is natural growth. We're looking for kids to have a personality that says, okay, it's okay to make mistakes, it's human to make mistakes, but what is important is how I get on up and how I look at my mistakes and go from there, how I change myself after that. And you know, if you are giving them that safe space, you are actually giving them an opportunity to change. If you are giving them a space that is punishing or that gives very hard consequences, well, they're not going to come and tell you, and that also means they're not going to talk about things, and that might mean that they're going to keep making those mistakes without having proper guidance from a loved one. So that's really important, and it's the same with romantic relationships. That solid trust, loyalty is very important, right? So when you do have that trust in your partner, you are able to flourish as a person without constantly worrying. And it's the way we do that is we listen and we stick by our words and we say what we do and we do what we say, right? So these are just simple things, but they mean a lot, and they cause they can cause anxiety, or they can cause happiness and feeling of security in the environment that you surround yourself with. And it's also the same with your other relations, any relations with friends and family. The most important thing is that you are a person that they can trust, right? And if you are a trustworthy person, that is how you are able to, as a manager, to also create psychological safety at work. Because as a trustworthy person at work, you are going to be somebody who will stand up to both your own mistakes at work. You're going to be there listening as a leader when an employee makes mistake, and you're going to be there to guide them and not punish them. And you're going to be there to listen and guide, and you're also going to be there to create a space where they can come and share their new ideas with you, right? So both the people around you in your private life, you will see them flourish if you are doing it correctly and creating a safe space around you in the circles that you surround yourself with, right? Those people will flourish and they will reach their most potential. And if in the workplaces, you'll also see people that come up with great ideas, will feel like they're accomplishing things, and they'll feel like, hey, here's an environment where I can stay and grow and not get challenged for sharing ideas and for sharing new things that can be done in a better way, and for basically being themselves and have an opportunity to grow like a plant, right? Planted in the right soil, it will grow. Planted in a bad soil and not give it water and sun, and it will fail. So I hope that was a little bit of inspiration for you guys today. Have in mind that these big words just mean that we are all human and we do our best in all situations to create loving, nurturing environments that can be sustainable over time. So good luck, and that was all for today. See you next time.